Hello and welcome to today's video. Now in today's video we'll take a look at the news which is going to affect the market locally and internationally, after which we'll also take a look at the Fin Nifty as what option buyers should do with the index and what option sellers should do with the index in tomorrow's trading session. Now on the local front, basically the news which is going to dominate the market tomorrow is the cabinet positions that have been appointed. Now when we look at the top cabinet positions, we see there is not much of a change as the Home Ministry has remained with Amit Shah. Rajnath Singh is back in the same position, and even Nirmala Sitharaman is back to the Finance Ministry. So all stays the status quo. We cannot expect some major policy shift in terms of what the ministers are going to execute, as it's going to be. They're going to continue the agenda what they were doing as of earlier. Now on the international news front, that is where things are very basically, I would say, busy. This week is especially crucial for American markets due to the Federal Reserve meeting and the US inflation report. This is the Fed isn't expected to change interest rates this time, as I haven't seen even one predicting an interest rate change. But what people are really looking forward towards is, number one, the economic projections and the dot plot and Jerome Powell's comments on what he sees ahead. However, out of all of this, I personally believe the dot plot will be the most important one, as it will tell us whether in the coming months, not this meeting, but in the coming months, whether there will be one or two interest rate cuts. And if the dot plot shows two, then that will be a very big positive for the markets. If it shows one, it will be a positive for the market, but it's something what is already expected, as after this, in the next meeting, everyone expects a rate cut to come. Then on this side of the pond in Asia, the Bank of Japan meeting could see a bit of tapering in bond purchases, which will mainly impact the Japanese yen. So it's not something, it will impact our market slightly, but it's something like which will impact a very small sector of the market. Then there is other important releases of data in other countries, but that is as of now not important, because our cabinet issues plus the American Fed and everything will overshadow all the other data points. Now coming to the Fin Nifty expiry, I expect the Fin Nifty expiry to be one which is not a box range one this time. This is, I'll be shocked if we have a box range move only in the Fin Nifty. I expect the opening and a small part of the day to be rather volatile due to some people will like what is happening with the cabinet and some people will not like it. That's normal. So now it will be whether to see whether people are satisfied, the market is satisfied with what has happened with the Finance Ministry and others. Now when we look in terms of the levels, before we look at the levels, in fact, let's just look at the daily chart. And when we look at the daily chart, we see the Fin Nifty is also at a simple, basically if we look at it only in terms of price action, it has reached a resistance. There's a resistance here. Then after that, this big black candle, it has nearly gone 90% into it, and it has formed a bearish candle here. And then the problem with this candle is that it also is completely 50-50 on the volume builder. It shows there's no significant bullish volume. And in fact, if you see this whole rise on the daily chart, on the intraday chart, naturally the volume buildup was showing. That's how we were trading. But on the daily chart, the volume buildup has stayed largely neutral, and even the trend catcher has stayed largely neutral. So that is what I believe will not let the index go much above from here. And to cover that better, I'll drop to the 30-minute charts and plot on the levels. Now, when we put on the levels, tomorrow on the upside, the key level is 23,350 and 22,350 and 22,480. Now, provided we stay below this, I believe option sellers, call sellers will be safe. And tomorrow, in fact, for Fin Nifty expiry, if we open roughly at this range or below 22,020, then I will start selling calls above 22,300, as I believe those will do well. And if we fall, then I'll naturally stagger my calls with the fall. Now on the downside, because I don't think most of the market will like the cabinet announcements which have been made for some members, not for all, but for some members. And if that is the case, then if 22,020 breaks, then I expect a very sharp fall to 21,840. That will be rather fast. However, the opening candle will be very important tomorrow, as I expect the opening candle to be that sort which we see on some gap down days where there is a large wick. So that large wick is what will keep us in that range for a bit, then take us to the downside if we have had a gap down. Now, if we break 22,020, then as an option buy, I'll be aiming at for 21,840 and then 21,600 and 21,620 to 21,700. These are the key supports on the downside. Is number one here. Then number two is 21,622 to 21,700. By chance, we break this support, then we can even fall to 21,350 to 21,440. However, that will be a rather large fall as we look in percentage points. Fall to 21,840. Basically, if we break this support, then we'll fall by about 1% to 21,840. And if we break that, then we'll fall by roughly 2.3% to 21,620. Hence, that's why I'm saying this is a very important support at 21,620 to 21,700, as the index will have also reached its usual range. And due to if at this point there's still a lot of weakness, then that will basically cause one side of the option sellers to run away, and that's what will cause a further fall to 21,350 to 21,440. So how will I trade tomorrow for Nifty? On the option buy side, break of 22,020, I go for 21,840 with the actual target of 21,700 and 21,620. On the upside, provided we do not break 22,350, things are going to be safe. And even if we break 22,350 by chance, 22,480 will act as a ceiling. And by chance we break these two, then the whole game will change, as the chart will turn firmly bullish, and we will basically have to have a rise then. But I see the likelihood of a rise less and the likelihood of a fall more. So I personally, on the option selling side, will focus more on call selling, and on the option buying side, I'll focus more on put selling. If the volume buildup is very bad, then we'll have a quick fall, and then I can use the put sells which are expiring tomorrow or basically today. And then if I see that the volume buildup is slightly confused, but the trend catcher is firm, then I know the fall will happen, but it will be in a slow fall. Then I'll go for options expiring next week as on the option buying front, as that will let me not get hit by the decay. As on expiry date, one of the biggest killers for option buyers is getting stuck in a decaying option. So that is how I'm going to be playing the Fin Nifty Expiry. If you like the video, then subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. Thank you.